What do you mean?
Yeah, bacon. So basically, yeah, like basically a breakfast muffin from McDonald's. Only I don't need it with 2 eggs and
Yeah. Okay. So how what kind of meat you want?
bacon.
Okay. Is that the all?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
what do you need?
And then my phone number.
$3.85. I gave you your 10%.
Oh, so you don't need my phone. Oh, do you want me fuel saver or no?
No,
Okay then.
I can't do it over here.
That's okay.
And you gotta slide it.
Well, I knew that too.
That's fine. Okay, so I was just in this.
Yeah. There goes. Can you just page me when it's ready? That would be fine.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you.
Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. It's good to be with you on Tuesday, the 11th of August. What a difference a day makes. You know, we were sitting in here yesterday morning talking about, and I even kind of joked that the forecast had described a heavy thunderstorm. Remember, Chris? It said heavy thunderstorm, and I thought, what's the difference between a heavy thunderstorm and a severe thunderstorm? Well, I think we found out, right? The reports started coming out yesterday early that winds in the Des Moines area were exceeding 70 miles an hour, and I thought, well, does that mean it's going to show up to Muscatine? And then I looked at the radar, and right around 1 o'clock, 1:05, we were in a meeting, and that storm showed up. And I hope you're okay. I hope that you have power. I want to show you a couple pictures from what was our garden center shed in our parking lot. Now, the ironic part of this picture is that my van, my sweet dad van, is normally parked right near there, near that vehicle in the picture, as a matter of fact, right on the other side of it. So I'm thankful that it was not there yesterday. And I'm thankful that no one was hurt, of course. And I hope that if you dealt with any trees getting knocked down, or if you're still without power, I can tell you that nobody does power outages better than Muscatine Power and Water. Our Hy-Vee Main Street store downtown had a power outage. I was inside the building at Hy-Vee Main Street at 5:05, and it was like as if someone plugged back in the clapper and the power just turned back on. So Muscatine Power and Water, specifically the crews that are out in the elements, the linesmen, I don't know if there's lineswomen, but I don't want, they are out there, they're in the elements, and they never get enough praise. But man, when power outages happen in this town, they are just on it, right? So that's incredible, especially when you hear about in the Quad Cities just down the road that there's still like 103,000 people without power. So if you woke up this morning and your lights were on, consider yourself lucky, and I can't complain, right? So I hope you're okay, and I hope that we don't have to deal with any winds like that again. It was wild. We had a little tree right out in the median, just was like this. It was like a toothpick, and it was gone. I'm like, where'd it go? We had a buy one, get one tree free sale, right? I mean, it was, Chris gave me a little bit of a dad joke laugh over there. Thank you. You're marvelous. All right, so I'm glad that that's over with. I'll just mention this briefly. Top Care Tuesday is going on here at the store. If you need anything, Top Care products, listen, this is the same active ingredient as the name brand, and you're paying less on Top Care Tuesday. Buy one, get one 50% off. I think the guys are trying to tell me something. I have 2 things of body wash here. sensitive skin, and deep moisturizing. What? Every day I shower, Chris. What am I missing? Sorry, Brad. Here you go. Gosh, I'm not a hand model. Oh, boy. People are watching and they're thinking, does that grown man bite his fingernails? And the answer is I would never admit that either way. So buy one, get one 50% off, whether it's Top Care products like that, or I don't think these are Top Care, but they're Star Wars hand sanitizer. Okay. Baby Yoda. We've got that as well. All right, so come in for those deals and check it out. And then the last thing I'll say, because we still have them, the Iowa Wave face masks are here at the store at the front of aisle 3. This is $12, and every single penny is donated to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City. If you want to get one of these face masks, they're comfortable, they look good, and they support a great cause. They're right there on the screen, and you should pick one up while we still have them, because I don't think they're going to last. Okay? All right, and we also know that face masks are going to be part of the upcoming school year, which is in Muscatine, slated to return on Monday, August 24th. I know that my wife and I would love to send our kids sooner, and I'm going to ask Muscatine Community School Board President Tammy Drawbaugh and Superintendent Clint Christopher if I can send my kids. Can they go today? Are they able to start? Tammy, do you have like a key for McKinley that I can use to just take them and then they could stay for a couple of days?
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be a good idea,
Okay.
but worth the ask.
Clint, do you have like a key fob or something that I could have?
I do.
You
I'm just not going to give it to you.
Come on. I feel like these kids have been home for a while. We've gotten so creative with our backyard. You know, bought a new trampoline, and then one day I came home and there was a hose running around the top of the trampoline that's created this trampoline sprinkler, which has led to like WWF like cage matches with my boys. So we're running out of creativity, and we are at my house excited, prepared, and my wife and I are firm believers that both of our children, especially my oldest son who has an IEP, sensory processing disorder, will strive in the classroom. So I want to start with really talking about the Return to Learn plan. And Clinton, you were here a couple weeks ago when we talked about this, and it was just a few days after that the Return to Learn plan rolled out. So as we sit here on the 11th of August, the plan is Monday, August 24th, school is back for parents that elect to send their children across Muscatine, correct?
Correct.
And the plan is online for folks that haven't seen it yet. We have the website we'll pull up here. Tammy, from your perspective with the school board and being the president of the school board, can you just give the folks at home an idea of how much time went into the plan that we have that's out there?
If I said, Tony, thousands of hours, I wouldn't even be close. Thinking about our staff who has worked really since March, and even more since April, and I think about poor Clint, who, you know, his contract with us didn't officially start until July 1st, and we were talking a lot in April, and a lot more in May, and a lot more in June, and it has been continual. It's important to say, I use the term the rules keep changing on us,
Sure.
but we would get new news from the governor every couple of weeks, it has felt like, and that requires us to change course a little bit. We've
Sure.
been very fortunate, but our staff has worked tirelessly to get to the plan that we have today.
And that's what we talked about with Clint the last time was, you know, it's a big transition for Clint and his family, but obviously you'd known the pandemic was going on, you were navigating it in Minnesota, and then you hit the ground running in Muscatine. Clint, the school board is made up of some pretty incredible people, so that had to make you feel more comfortable and confident when you got to town, right? Knowing that you have people,
Absolutely.
and I'm not just saying that because Tammy's here, right? I've known Tammy for a while, she's fantastic, but it's even more so, I mean, the entire board is really strong.
Well, and I would say, and if you watch those meetings and you listen to the questions that they're asking,
Yeah.
They care about this community, they care about all of our kids, and they care about our staff. And so it's personal to them, and it's important to them, and they focus on the things they should be focusing on. which is that, providing that best learning environment for all students. And so I feel really good about that, and from a school board to administrative team to our teaching staff to staff across the district to this community, just everyone stepping up to say, what do we need to do to make this work?
Well, and again, this has never happened before, and I was talking to my coworker Phil Schliessman, whose wife Gina is a teacher at Grant, and he said she's ready to go back, and it's different, but she's been a teacher for X amount of years. She cares about the kids. That's how all of our educators, they're ready for whatever challenge comes their way. They've already endured a lot with having, in the drop of a hat, to adapt to going online. None of them stopped working. None of them stopped caring. So they're ready, right? They're ready, and whatever happens throughout the course of this year, they'll have, the ability to pivot and adapt because they've already done it. So that feels really good. But I just think the level of care, and Tammy, maybe from the board's perspective, you see that more, certainly for people that are watching that have kids in the school district and the system like I do, or that know teachers, they know that. But I do feel like sometimes that can be missed, the story of our educators and the fact that they're top notch, right? And that's where, like, someone like myself, again, 8 years in Muscatine, 2 kids in the system, another one a year away, I feel so confidently that my kids will have success and be set up for whatever they decide to do post 12th grade, which is going to make me a lot older than I currently am not right now. I'm still 24, if you can believe that, which is not true. But talk about that from your seat. I mean, obviously, school board president, you have to feel so good about these men and women that are ready to teach August 24th.
I absolutely do. I think about some of my dearest friends are teachers.
Yeah.
And I am asking them, well, it's not me personally, right? But the ask is, I need you to step back into the classroom. And they're ready to do that. And everybody has lots of questions. I oftentimes think, just from a parent perspective, how do I feel about, I'm still sending, one into school as well.
Yeah.
And talking with my own daughter about how she feels about that. But I agree, I believe they're ready to go back. It's going to be different. We have a new normal, and if there's one thing that we can probably help our kids with, is change is inevitable.
Yeah. And
this will become a miraculous generation of students that are growing up right now, because hopefully they will not have to go through this again in their lifetime, right? But
yes, I agree.
Incredible change.
Well, and sometimes that happens, I feel like I was a sophomore in high school when Columbine happened, and that was different, and I was at a very large public high school in Oak Park. I graduated with like 776 classmates, over 3,000 plus people in the building. Never had any incidents there, but that changed things, right? So whether it's a pandemic or incidents like that, it changes your perspective, but I just hope that we can gain and grow so much from this. Tammy, I want to ask, narrowing it down to the return to learn plan that we have in place. I watched a couple of the school board meetings. To your point of the hours put into it, there were a lot of plans proposed, and you already touched on this with things having to change as information came out. But were you down to, like, I don't want to say there was like a top 5 return to learn plan, because I don't want to be cheeky, but I imagine that you had to maybe take bits and pieces of different plans to make the ultimate one that we're rolling out.
So for me, I look to our administration,
Sure.
to what is the expertise of those that are in the world of education. That is not my specialty. And I continue to think of Clint's words of saying, we know our students are going to be the most successful in the classroom with someone in front of them. And I learn better that way. I'm a visual learner. I need someone in front of me. So I have great belief in that. I'm glad that we were able to, because we waited just a little bit to announce our plan. Once the governor made a little bit of a change in the way things were going to happen on the 17th of July, that helped us firm that up a little bit more. I also am so pleased that with what the administration has presented, there's a little something for everyone, including our staff. So our staff had some options, parents had options. We aren't all making the same choice. And the other thing that I would say is I want parents to feel really confident, and if you choose that at home 100% online is best for your student, we will support you, and that is fabulous. And if you decide that you want to do the hybrid model and be half and half, we will support you that way as well, because it's a very individual decision. So I commend, again, our administration and our team for being able to say, let's also be able to give a little bit of variety where people will feel comfortable.
And Clint, for you, I mean, people maybe don't think about the school district as one of the largest employers. You have how many employees? Hundreds, right?
We're a little over 1,000.
Oh my gosh. Over 1,000 people.
So when you go beyond teaching and paraprofessionals and our administrative staff, secretarial staff, our custodians, bus drivers, it's a big group of people.
Yeah, and imagine the work at your building on Mulberry that has gone into thinking of all of those people and their needs and their concerns and addressing that. And yeah, I do think it was beneficial, even though people maybe wanted the answer. Sometimes good things come to those that wait. And that way you didn't have to go back to the drawing board because things have changed so much, right? So, Clint, with respects to August 24th, and I think of this selfishly with a third grader and a kindergartner, it'll be different to not be able to, on that first day of school, to walk them in, especially the kindergartner, because he's going to be like, he's going to want to wear pajamas because he's lived in pajamas. I don't know if we can maybe make that a thing at McKinley, but the experience this year will be different. And I know that the district has done a good job of kind of laying out, this is what time buildings are going to open. But I just want to talk about that. I mean, obviously that was a tough decision, but it makes sense to try and minimize exposure and keep people safe. So that first day, and again, hopefully next year, we're talking about back to usual or as close to it. But for August 24th, it'll look a little different. But everybody's intentions are still in the best place, right?
Well, and I think that is about our new normal a little bit. For kindergarten kids, it's not different for them. This is their first experience. It's different from a parent standpoint, especially if you've had one in the system already. But again, we have to build a plan that makes it as safe as possible for students and for staff, and we'll work through that. I think in the process of doing this, we'll also establish there are going to be some things that we're doing differently because we have to this year that actually work out really well. And how do we continue that process as well? So, from bringing all of our staff back together, every district, around the country typically has that all-staff meeting, and it's really the one time that all those people get together. It's that energy of the start of the school year, and we have to do that differently this year. We also are giving teachers, there's a lot more training on the front end, more time in their classroom, because they really, although we build these kind of district-wide plans, it's going to look a little different in every single building and in every single classroom, depending on the classroom space, the students that are in that space. So they need to spend time really digging into that classroom and, how do I make this socially distanced? How do I create these spaces that will work for my students? And so really trying to provide them as much time to do that as possible. One of the things that we talk about as an administrative team, we've talked about at the school board is, what we know about basic psychology is Maslow's needs hierarchy. Kids won't learn until they feel safe, and the same thing is true for us as adults. So we have to create that safe environment, work through that transition to ensure that learning will continue as we move forward.
And I feel like the district has done a great job. I think my kindergartner will be equipped with like an iPad, and my third grader maybe a Chromebook. So the technology side, and I don't need a dollar amount, that's not what this is about, but there has been some investments made to ensure that our kids are set up for success. Because, to Tammy's point, for those parents that are electing to keep their kids at home with online learning or the hybrid, the district has really stepped up to the plate and said, we're going to help you meet the need. Is that something that's in a budget? Is there a closet full of laptops? I mean, again, we've had the luxury of a little bit of time since, let's say, mid-March. So, but how is that addressed? Because I imagine that can be a challenge in itself with X amount of students and the needs that they may have and wanting to set them all up.
Well, and one of the fortunate things is they've done a lot of that groundwork here leading up to
Sure.
that, where we have devices for students, middle school and high school, so that won't necessarily be a change. We have devices at the elementary. A lot of those have been on carts, but that allows us to take them out of the carts, assign
Sure.
them to students. So we did have a gap with kindergarten and first grade, and that's where we purchased those iPads. So from an infrastructure standpoint, we really have the pieces in place that we need for all students. I think the other challenge is ensuring that all of our students have internet access at home. And again, as we think long term, as students have devices, teachers are teaching differently, leveraging those devices. As we move into the future, we're not putting them back into the cart, right? We're going to
Correct.
continue to leverage that as a learning tool. So that infrastructure needs to continue. That internet access is an important component. And so, again, one of the benefits of being in Muscatine, right away, we know we're going to have some families that won't have access. And so how do we address that? We've had community partners come together to say, how can we help you in this? We've been working closely with Muscatine Power and Water. And so we've got some solutions for that, some things we feel really good about. So for families that live outside of the kind of that inner ring of Muscatine, where Muscatine Power and Water doesn't go out in the rural areas, we have wireless access points that we can
That's fantastic.
we can leverage. And working with Muscatine Power and Water, both of those scenarios really just provide internet access for our district devices. So if you have a different device at home, a personal device, it won't be able to connect to the internet. It filters. It filters just the way it would in our classrooms as well. So it really is about giving kids the tools they need to learn at home. And the state is providing some additional funding for that, so we can get that started. To make sure that as we move forward, kids have the access they need to do that work, because at some point they're all going to be online learners.
Right.
Right now, 20% of our families have said, for our family, this is what's best, and we're gonna have them learning from home. But whether it's a classroom or a grade level or a snow day at some point throughout this year, everyone will be an online learner. And so we have to prepare them for that. And we've been training our teachers to be ready for online instruction.
It's wild to think about the evolution of the backpack and what it looks like, and the fact that I had like the friend's locker that I could put some stuff in between classes, and then I had my locker. What I love about what you said is so true, and this is where I want to give people some context. Is you're talking to parent. You mentioned MPW, Gage Houston at the top at MPW, parent. Erica Cox, parent. There's so many people that are invested, that want to do the right thing. Gage just sent me a text that said internet for all. I don't know if he meant that or not. I'm just kidding, Gage. But no, I think that's so nice to hear that they want the best, because they're invested in the community just like all the other partners and businesses, and it's great to hear that. And I didn't even know that tech was out there that could equip that student's laptop that lives in a place that maybe doesn't have internet access, so that they are not falling behind. Because isn't that always the thing? As parents, you want the best for your kids, and for the kids, they can't control the situations they find themselves in. And we all know that every student learns differently, and sometimes we need to be empathetic to the situations and the households that those students find them in. We also need to understand that for so many of our students, they need those four walls of the building. They need that support that maybe they're not receiving at home, those interactions with your staff, and those members of the staff that are putting in those extra hours that nobody ever really sees or hears about with those individual students, and how much of an impact that's going to have later in life. I mean, the best thing for me would be to have, those success stories from MCSD that go on to either professional work or secondary education, that stay in town, that have a family of their own, that buy that house, have that job. That's that full circle thing that I love. Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army just said on Facebook, the future is bright for Muscatine schools with Mr. Christopher at the helm. Yeah, and we're happy to have you. And again, just got to town. So imagine, and Tammy, the board's biggest job was supposed to be superintendent, curriculum audit, plan, nice graduation, and things have changed so much. I want to ask about, so we've talked about school, return to learn, August 24th, first day. Tentatively, and again, I know things can change, but tentatively, it seems like fall activities, athletics scheduled to happen. I know, for instance, football season will look different, a little bit, 2 fewer games, I believe. But is that the same with all activities and athletics as of right now? Again, it could change tomorrow, so if you're watching this a week from now and it's different, don't blame me. But as of right now, are we all systems go?
That is our goal.
Okay.
And again, looking at the same things we're talking about for our classrooms, with our athletes, with our activities, with fine arts, all of those. How can we, keep socially distanced? I know we have our staff at the high school, throughout the district, they're looking at instrument masks and singing masks, and the community has been, supporting all of those things. So how do we, again, provide those activities that they're tremendous opportunities for our kids, and do that as safely as possible. And again, we just went through a summer season with softball and baseball, and we learned some things from that. We ended a season early for baseball, and so again, those are learning things, and we'll work through that on a case-by-case basis as we've done this past summer.
So you just need to stay tuned, folks, and obviously I ask as a parent to be patient and for your grace. And a question that I want to ask, because it's going to be something that people have on their minds with respects to the plans, and I don't want to say this to be negative Nancy, and I'm never that. I'm the most optimistic person ever, but should someone, whether it's a student or a teacher, test positive, what is the plan for when that happens at insert building in our district? I'm sure that we've discussed it maybe thousands of hours with the board, but I know that that's one of those questions that people are going to have with school restarting and it seems like it might be inevitable just given the nature of things. So what is the response to that?
So, and I think that starts with some of that, the directives from the state and the governor in creating this 14-day positivity average that we're monitoring. And then through those criteria, they make recommendations based on when it's best to be face-to-face and move into hybrid. And then in order to close a building or close the district, we're looking at 20% positivity rate and 10% absenteeism or greater, which is going to be a high bar to get to. But I think the model that we have right now really sets us up to be successful on that. So we know it's going to happen. We're going to have kids that contract it. We're going to have staff that contract it. I will say we've had a great relationship with County Health, with Christy Roby-Williams and her team, and they'll be a part of that process, although I know they're outsourcing some of the contact tracing, but they're going to come in, and whether it's initiated by us because we know somebody tested positive, or they come to us and say, you have somebody tested positive, they'll go through and do that investigation and help us make that decision. Is it just a small group of people? Is it the classroom? Is it a grade level? They'll help us make that assessment. And again, we'll monitor that information very closely in the county and work with the state when we need to make those decisions. But again, we're not medical experts, but we've got great people here in the community that are helping us and making the best decisions possible for our staff and students.
And obviously, Tammy, with respects to the school board, I think you just met last night, you said, so I'm sure that'll be part of the ongoing conversations. Any news from the meeting last night that's worth sharing? I didn't tune in. Don't yell at me. We had a power outage downtown. My day was a little long.
We had a great update just on the Return to Learn plan, because the board too has questions, just like parents do. And we have found that our ability to have communication with each other, it's been different during all of this as well. And so being able to, I said it was great to be able to look at everybody last night, to see each other face to face. That was our second in-person meeting for us. But we got to review the plan. We got to ask. There were a lot of great questions asked, from sporting to different activities during the day, a variety of things. So I think the board felt really, really good about the questions they were able to ask, and just a lot of usual business that still has to be conducted during all this as well.
All right. Well, we're 13 days away. It's wild, isn't it? I mean, it's wild. I feel like my kids have been home for 17 years. And I know that it goes by quick, and I know they're going to be, Tammy's going to say things like, don't blink, and the next thing, I get all of that. But we are confident in the work that's been done I know that our schools will never be cleaner. I mean, I can't even imagine, Clint, the resources that you've had to allocate for cleaning and sanitizing, and again, for our teachers, they didn't go to school to learn how to teach in this type of pandemic, right? But they have done such a great job, but it really starts at the top. And I can't even imagine the amount of work that's still maybe shed a little light on, but we're confident at my house, and I know that it'll look different. But again, the thing I keep telling myself is that perspective will come if it's a year from now, and there's that COVID-19 vaccine you can get at your local Hy-Vee or wherever, right? I just hope that we keep things in perspective and how we responded, and we've done a really great job. And yes, things change. If you're watching and you're thinking, things have changed, yeah, every day, right? Imagine having all that responsibility, 1,000 people relying on MCSD for employment. That's a big deal. Thousands of kids, relying on MCSD to get them prepared for later in life. It's a big deal. So I appreciate you both being here. Is there anything else that we need to mention before we wrap?
Well, I would just say, to your point, and I mentioned this to instructional coaches last week as we were doing our start of the year planning, our plan will change. And if it looks the same in January as it does today, we haven't been doing our job, right? We know, as we said, an administrative team, we've been putting in thousands of hours, and now as we bring more staff on board, they're helping us improve that plan. They're thinking about things we didn't think about. As our parents give us feedback, community gives us feedback, as we move through this year, we're going to learn things. Some things are going to work really well, and some things aren't going to work so well, and we're going to need to make adjustments. But through all of that, we get better and better and better, and what we deliver to kids gets better and better and better. So, I feel very confident in that. We've got a great team at all levels and a super supportive community. When you have all those pieces, you are going to be successful, and I believe that.
And the momentum is certainly there. And Tammy, obviously, making the decision to be involved at the level that you are, you feel strongly in the future, but also in the present and what's been going on. And maybe you've had a lot of long meetings and maybe not as much time off, but it's okay, because it's all about setting. And that's what's so important, is that big bet that we're making. We're investing in my kids and your kids and Clint's kids so that they can continue to improve and push Muscatine in a good direction. That's what we're trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
And it can sound like an old adage, you're raising future leaders, but it's true. You see it. I see it every day in my kids and the things that I say and do, and sometimes if I put my foot in my mouth, because I'm not perfect, newsflash. But that's what it's all about. It's all about growth and learning. So please, if you need anything moving forward, let me know. You're always welcome to come back on. And certainly all of the board members have been on, right, in a different capacity at the time when they were talking about seeking the seats at the board. But I do feel very strongly in the group that we have. And, I just had seen Denny Sure the other day, and I know everybody's been working a lot. And I thank you for what you've done. Holy moly. I hope that, you know that it's been appreciated by the community. And Clint, your team has been there nonstop. Have you even taken a day off since you've got to town? Or
I did. I
did?
took 2 days.
How dare you?
I know. They did graduation for my daughter, who graduated in the district in Minnesota. So we took a Friday and Monday to go up and finish the graduation ceremony.
That's fantastic. He took 2 days. I have people that work at the store that have like 7 weeks of vacation, and I'm thinking like, this, you have 2 days. Oh. Well, please keep up the good work. You need anything, come back on the show. Thank you very much. I can't believe it's Tammy's first time. I mean, my goodness, we've known each other for a while. We always used to have this friendly competition called Let's See Who Can Get Their Starbucks First on Fridays. And Tammy and the All Steel team won a lot of those times. And she was very humble about beating me to Starbucks all the time. So I think you'll probably be back, right?
I cannot wait to be back to Starbucks Friday.
Yeah, I meant on the show. What are you doing tomorrow? 8:30?
Perfect, yes.
You got anything going on?
No, I'm here.
No? All right. Perfect. Well, thank you again. Have a good rest of your day, and please stay in touch with whatever we can do here for you, okay?
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, Tammy Drawbaugh, Clint Christopher, Return to Learn, Monday, August 24th here in Muscatine. All right, guys, let's go CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam. We're showing you breakfast, right? And listen, our kids need breakfast. It's going to start them on the right path every day, and that's a breakfast burrito. So I don't know if your kids need a breakfast burrito, but we've got them here at the store, and they're $5 and they're ready to go. We're showing you now. Listen, I want to give people some context. The CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam, pre-pandemic, would be set up in different places throughout the store, but with respects to folks, we're focusing in on some menu items rather than getting some shots of the store. We don't want anybody to feel like they're going to get caught on camera while they're here, so that's why we're showing you some menu items, and we'll continue to do that. It also makes me very hungry. Thank you, guys. Every time we do the show afterwards, I'm like, do you think they would notice if I just took a bite of the prop burrito? And I haven't done it yet. Maybe today's the day. Maybe they go, hey, has anybody seen that half of the prop burrito? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Is that burrito in your goatee? No, it most certainly is not. All right. So that's good. That's a great conversation. And I'm thankful that the superintendent, Clint Christopher, has been on this show twice now. And I appreciate the work that he's done. And, of course, Tammy Drawbaugh on the school board. Everybody's intentions are good with respects to getting our kids back into the classroom. So that all feels very good. All right. Well, I guess I have a couple of things I want to show you. So Colleen, my coworker, Colleen Moomey, got this shirt, and I think this is kind of cool. Look at that. I can't stay at home. I work at Hy-Vee. And it's Baby Yoda with a mask on. I don't know if this is officially licensed by the Disney company, but we'll just say it's baby yogurt. It looks like Baby Yoda, but it's baby yogurt. And if you've seen Spaceballs, you're welcome for that reference. I don't have these for sale at the store, but that is nice. Okay. I'm looking. So Heather asked if we can ask some questions. So Heather, I don't know if you're coming in late, but if you have questions, I can guarantee we'll have Clint and Tammy back on the show. If you have any questions, you can always send a message and I will ask them next time, or I can pass them along to them. My intent, certainly, with having the ability to keep an eye on the stream is to get any feedback. And yeah, so Heather said, can I ask some questions that my parents are concerned about? I know these tend to be fluff and nice pieces. I would say, I just asked them, what's the plan when someone tests positive in a school? So if you missed that, please rewind it. But also, Heather, if you have questions, I'm happy to pass them along, to use them for the next time. And I'll tell you this right now, they're not afraid to answer tough questions. At the school board office, at the school office, the district office, at the school board, they're happy to answer them for you. And I'm also happy to ask them. So Heather, like I said, I did ask. My last question, as a matter of fact, was, what's the plan for when someone tests positive at one of our schools? So we got an answer. So if it's more than that, let me know. Heather, reach out. I'm happy to get that taken care of for you, okay? All right, today, August 11th, a couple of things. National Sons and Daughters Day. Did you know that? Isn't that nice? So Chris is giving me the point. Is this for this? Okay. Are these cards? Are there sons and daughters cards that I don't know about? What is this? Is this a Lego card? Holy moly. Look at this. Wait, now you're telling me I got to get my kids something for Sons and Daughters Day? They get stuff all the time. All right, so here's a card that has Lego. This, I got to tell you, we're living in the future. This card has Legos in it, and it's only $7.99. So talk about a two-for deal here. You can buy a card, and then as a parent, there's nothing more frustrating than trying to put together 54 pieces of Legos. Because what happens is you end up losing one of the small pieces, and you're like, where did the arm go for that guy? And then you look at the dog, and the dog's like, I ate the arm. And you're like, come on, man. So that's really cool. That's fun. Here is a here's a Star Wars card. Brad, this is going to be tricky because this one does make a little noise. So there's Chewbacca, right? And R2-D2. And some other creatures that I don't know their name. I'm not I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like a casual Star Wars fan, you know, so I know they got names. And then here's a little Tinkerbell card. Oh, look at that. These are fun. Little Tinkerbell card. Whoop. Don't want to get zapped for the copyright infringement. Not doing that. They're going to be muting us. That Tony Tone thinks he can play copyrighted music. Anyways, it's a Tinkerbell card that sings a song by, I don't know, Natasha Bedingfield. #1 on the charts and #1 in your hearts. So there you go. So it's National Sons and Daughters Day. I have 2 sons and I have 1 daughter. So I've got the boxes checked, I guess, right? I mean, I've got the sons and I've got the daughter. You know, we talked to Principal Ben Nitzel on the show last week. He's got 6 daughters. Can you imagine? That's a lot. I got the 2 boys and I got the girl. Today is also Raspberry Bombay Day. I don't even know what that means. Was that booze? It's a dessert. It's a frozen dessert. Okay, Chris, with raspberry sauce. All right, listen, it's a raspberry dessert. What do you want from me? Maybe you wear a raspberry beret while having a Raspberry Bombay. And, Chris is hinting. Yes, thank you. Oh, my Lanta. What is in the Toyota Muscatine? What's in the box? We're going to find out momentarily, everybody. Thank you, Chad. Look at that. You've got a vanilla and raspberry Bombay. Oh, my. What is that? I don't even know what that is. But we'd sure try it, everybody. Oh. Just give me a spoon and maybe a glass of milk. Oh. All right. Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box? Listen, of course I wanted to have Tammy or Clint do this, but I don't want people to tune in and think, oh, they're just having fun, because we talked about a lot of serious stuff. All right, here we go. Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box? Eyes closed, heart full. This is raspberry sauce. Boom. Thank you. Yeah. Now, listen, did I get a hint when Chris was like nudging the box towards me? But I also recognize this container. I almost could have got the name brand. That's not bad. Also, I'd still love to get, if you want to invest, my $1 million idea is what's in the box, big and tall edition, so that if you have large hands. This is fun, though, and I think we may have 1 or 2 more of these for sale. I did buy one for my house because my 5-year-old Ted loves it. So if you want to play the at-home, Toyota Muscatine should just include one of these if you purchase a vehicle. You should get a Toyota Muscatine. What's in the box? What's in the box? It's Jimmy Greenhaw. Giggity, giggity. Right there. All right. One of these days, Chris is going to be like, you got to do the what's in the box, pointing at me, and there's going to be a new car key in there from Toyota. Isn't that marvelous? We'll see. All right. Today is Global Kinetic Sand Day. We love Kinetic sand. The closest thing we have to Kinetic sand here is little Elmer's glue. Kinetic sand is weird. It's cool. We have it at my house. It gets everywhere. I don't love it. I don't love the Kinetic sand, but my kids like it. And it doesn't matter if I like it. It matters what they like, as you know, as a parent. So if you just get Kinetic sand all over the place, right? It happens. And then today, August 11th, is National Presidential Joke Day. So that's what's on the national calendar. All right, some things I want to show you, and these are new wines. Okay, so Chris does such a great job. Chris Anderson bringing in some new products. We've got some new wine. Oh, you have it all displayed. What am I doing? Brad, I'll just put it down here. I didn't even see the paper. So we've got some new wines here that are available at Wine and Spirits. Lighthearted. It looks like $7.99. So that's exciting. It's 20% less calories. It's, listen, it's all the taste. 80 little it's from Cupcake. They do a great job, the Cupcake wines. So that is at Wine and Spirits. And then, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't have time to open my own bottles of wine, there's a pandemic. How about an electric wine bottle opener? Honey, we need more batteries for the electric wine opener. High society right here. Opens up to 30 bottles on a single charge. Who tested that out? They're in the lab? Get me 20. We got bottle number 27. 28. 29. Should we try 30? I don't know. I think it's running out of battery. So this is a real product. This is $25. And listen, it'll open your wine in one simple motion. I haven't tried this, I'm super intrigued because look, I mean, it's, it does all the work for you. Wow. Stainless steel finish for easy cleaning, blue LED charging indicator light. 8 hours. How many bottles of wine are you opening? Now, like a restaurant should have this, right? We still have the old-fashioned, you do this move, you do this, and then the bunny ears start to like go up, and then you do the old, if I may, my hands are clean, and then you get the wine open. But maybe this is where it's at from Chef Man. Maybe I should, I should buy one of those. Why not? That's a great idea. And then there was a note. Is it gladiolas? Oh, those are plants? Oh, marvelous. See? What do I know? I have a note that says gladiolas. They're on the bar. They're plants from the floral shop. Those are gladiolas. Today's secret word is gladiolas. If you hear the word gladiolas at any point today, you win a prize. So there you go. Those are beautiful. The large one is $45, and the small one is $20. Is that with the vase that it comes in? The vases are very nice, Brad. Let's show them. It's like, look at that. Nice little vase action there. You got one big one, you got one small one. How much do you love your gladiolas? I was surprised. I got neighbors. I got neighbors in the neighborhood. That's a revelation. Neighbors in your neighborhood. They had these giant sunflowers by their mailbox. They were still standing. So apparently, sunflowers can take on 70-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know. That was wild yesterday. I've told you folks, I don't love the severe weather, but I did feel safe. I was at work, and we were just seeing the wind just whipping. So again, I hope that you're okay with everything that happened yesterday. And then, I don't want to not talk about things that are on the set. You've got a little flamingo. Maybe you give this to your daughter or whomever. Just a little gift. Very soft, by the way. A little flamingo action. This flamingo has skipped leg day forever. Does not do a lot of leg exercises. It cannot support itself. Ready? And it can't. So, let's give the flamingo a little encouragement. This reminds me, and it's not the best segue, but I've had worse, goat yoga. What about flamingo yoga? So Flickinger Learning Center is doing goat yoga coming up this Saturday. I feel like for people that are sitting in here, they're like, did that guy just say goat yoga? And that's what it's going to look like. You're going to be doing yoga with a goat, kid goats, potentially climbing on your persons. It's fun. It's a fundraiser for Flickinger Learning Center, which, of course, is ready to get back to taking care of our kids and helping out. Flickinger Learning Center is a great place, and they're getting creative with a fundraiser. Goat yoga is this Saturday here in Muscatine. And that might happen, right? You might be doing goat yoga, and the goats are they're just walking around and they're checking you out, and they're goats, and they don't seem to mind jumping on you. It's kind of like a cat. Cats just go everywhere. I'm so excited I have one in my house. But anyways, I don't have a goat, so I can't really complain. But Flickinger would love to have you this Saturday with goat yoga happening here in Muscatine. I feel like after yesterday, I need either like yoga or chiro, something. A lot of lifting of things. All right, very good. So let's mention a couple of things and we'll get out of here. Top Care Tuesday. We talked about it at the start of the show. Got a couple examples here on the set. Buy one, get one 50% off. Top Care products, whether it's things like body wash, if you need the sensitive skin or the deep moisturizing one, we've got it. Or if it's allergy medicine or pain relief, whatever the case may be, as I always like to say, Top Care products contain the same active ingredient as the name brand, but at a fraction of the cost. And on Tuesday, you can buy one, get one 50% off. Isn't that a great deal? So please check that out. If you have a smartphone, download the HyVee app. It's free. You can get a great deal on butter. I talked about this yesterday. Nobody wants to run out of butter when you're baking or whatever you're doing. You're having some pancakes and you're like, where's the butter? You don't want to run out of butter. This is an awesome deal with the app. Basically, you download the app. You would scan that QR code at the register and you get the butter for $1.88. taking a sip of my Starbucks, which is a nice deal. Good savings, and it's ready to go, right? So download the HyVee app. The deal changes every single Monday, and it's a free app, so please consider downloading that. We still, today would be the last day with respects to like 90-cent brats and everything else that was on the back page of last week's newspaper. They'll expire after today. So we've got a new ad that'll start tomorrow. We'll show you. But for today, it's 90-cent brats. It's everything else that's on there. You have another opportunity to come in and take advantage of those savings. New ad tomorrow. All right? That's how it works. So maybe you got the paper already. You're going to get the paper today, more than likely. That's great. That'll start tomorrow. Today, 90-cent brats. I need to get some 90-cent brats. That's what I'm getting at. I really do. Also, bakery mini cookies for 10 cents each. Smirnoff vodka, 5 Cities Bikini Bottom, seasoned pork chops. How about 18 eggs for $1.18? That's a good deal. Kitchen cooked chips, 5 for $10. Mac and cheese, 3 for $1. Gotta love that. Register candy at a great price. Some paper plates. 8-piece $5 cluck. Makes Matt very happy with the $5 cluck. And so many more deals. Today's the last day, though. Don't miss out. And I'm telling you, those antibacterial wipes are fantastic. And you've got the TP case. That's a case of toilet paper. The antibacterial wipes are legitimate. I recommend them. We use them at the house. You can't find the name brand Clorox, Lysol wipes. Try those. They're good. All right? Okay, and then we have the Fuel Saver Flyer, where I did do the math. Even though I'm not good at math, admittedly, you would save $1.08 off per gallon. So that's cool with the Fuel Saver Flyer right there on the screen. Check it out. Buy everything, $1.08 off per gallon. Isn't that great? Good deals as well. And the last day is today for the Fuel Saver Flyer. So keep that in mind. We'll roll out a new one and get you some more opportunities to save, but that's fantastic. All right, we mentioned Goat Yoga. I don't know, if we have the flyer, I can show that to you just to drive that home again this Saturday. It's $15. Bring the kids. If you love yoga, this is for you. I know that they just did a yoga event downtown at the Merrill Hotel on their I guess it's balcony, right? Yeah, kind of like their balcony off their ballroom. It's beautiful. So if you're a yoga person, don't miss it. Flickinger Goat Yoga, Saturday, here in Muscatine. They're ready to go. I know that much. All right, back to school. We talked to the superintendent, Clint Christopher, today. Tammy Drawbaugh, president of the school board. August 24th for Muscatine, back to school. And part of the reality for back to school are the face masks. So whether it's like the Iowa Wave mask or the masks with the Muscatine logo and the L&M logo. I don't think I saw any L&M masks yesterday. Yeah, I think they're gone. So we have Wilton Beaver face masks left. And then, we have a decent amount of the ones with the Muskie M. They're all in aisle 6 here at the store. Okay, so that's where you're going to find them. Aisle 6. You can grab one, $7.99. Again, the L&M ones do seem to be sold out. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for one of those, all right? Here's Goat Yoga. Look at this. All the info is there. 9 a.m., $15 for adults. Kids 12 and under are $10. And parking available at the soccer complex. It is a short walk. Pose for selfies with the kid goats. Bring your own mat, towel, and a drink. And to save your seat, Chad, there's an email, and I should have it memorized. It's flc@flickingerlearning.org. flc@flickingerlearning.org. Goat Boy. Am I right? Who remembers Goat Boy from Saturday Night Live with Jim Brewer? I interviewed Jim Brewer a couple times at the radio station, and he did the Goat Boy voice. So that was awesome. All right. So that's Goat Yoga. So anyways, the Muskie face masks, get them while they're here. They're going to be sold out soon. L&M seems like they're sold out. Wilton, if you need a mask, we've got them. Aisle 6, $7.99. Check it out. It's a good deal. Okay? All right. A couple more things. If you're over 50 years old, shingles, something you don't want to have to deal with. I'm not over 50. I'll be 37 on September 5th, maybe for my birthday. Don't get me a shingle shot. Not yet. I'll get it in, 13 years. But if you're 50 and older, this is something you got to think about. You don't want to get shingles. Not something you want to deal with. You can get a shot. No appointment necessary. You come back in a couple weeks. You get the second one. You're good to go. That's it. It's easy. It's preventative. Think of it as preventative maintenance, but for your body. Shingles are terrible. You don't want to have to deal with it. And I mean that. I don't say that in a light way. I mean, people really suffer. And, I know somebody that had a sister that passed away from shingles. So please, they have a vaccine for it. I ask that you have the conversation, walk into Hy-Vee Pharmacy. They'll give it to you and you're good to go. All right. Listen, yesterday is a great example of why ordering groceries on your phone is pretty cool, isn't it? Whether it's a severe storm or just because you're busy, Hy-Vee Aisles Online has same-day grocery availability. Right now, you could download the Aisles Online app, or you could go to hyvee.com/grocery, and you can shop from home. Of course, I love to tell you can shop in your socks, which is great. Maybe you don't wear socks. You could shop in your flops. Flip-flops? I feel like I'm writing a Dr. Seuss book. You could shop with a cop. I mean, that doesn't really work for the rhymes. You could shop and avoid stepping on rocks. Chris, am I doing all right? Okay. I'm trying to think of more rhymes, and I'm failing. Moving on. All the years of improv I did, and I could do 3. That's it? 3 alliterations? You could shop for a new mop. All right, that's it. We're good. You could shop for your favorite diet pop. You could shop while listening to hip hop. Anything else I'm missing? I would like to do a mic drop. Thank you. That's very nice. All right. The store is open at 6 a.m., okay? And I'm not going to rhyme that. Normal hours, 6 a.m. till 11 p.m., Monday through Sunday for everybody. Everybody. 6 a to 11 p, right here. We're ready to take care of you. Okay. I think we've covered everything that I wanted to. I do have cranberry juice here. Did I miss something? Brad? Sometimes, Brad, I feel like, I don't want to go out on a ledge, but sometimes I feel like Brad is thinking about what he needs on his list. And he's like, well, if I just bring it to the set, then Tony will show it. And then Brad's like, I'll put it back. And by that, I mean, he's going to buy it. So, and I am a fan of cranberry juice, but it's cran raspberry. And this is why Brad did this, because it's Raspberry Bombay Day. See? It's good thinking. Now, I'm also a fan of this right here. This is very good. We talked about this on the show when it came out. Remember? The Trio. That is a low-carb, low-sugar beverage. Very good. Organic birch water. That's raspberry lemonade. Look at that. 1 gram of sugar per serving. How many servings in a bottle? Survey says there's 2, and it's sweetened with erythritol, which is a sugar alternative. There you go. Look at that. Not too shabby. Trio. We could have a segment on the show called What's in Brad's Cart? I'm not opposed to it. Why not? There's so many products in the store. You guys never cease to amaze me. You can find things that I'm here, over 40 hours a week. I don't even see it. And then I come in the morning and I'm like this wine. I wouldn't have known to feature that wine. That's great. All right. I love it. It's excellent. Don't change anything, y'all. All right. We're going to get out of here. I think that feels good. We accomplished a lot today. Thanks if you have been with us the whole time. Thanks for tuning in. Had a lot of people watching live on Facebook. If you missed the conversation with Muscatine Superintendent Clint Christopher and President of the School Board, Tammy Drawbaugh, please rewind the tape if you'll have it. Rewatch the show. And we had a great conversation. We're certainly getting ready for Return to Learn here in Muscatine with school restarting on Monday, August 24th. I thank Superintendent Christopher for his time, Clint Christopher, and Tammy Drawbaugh for being here. And I wish nothing but the best, obviously, for all of our students and staff and everybody as they get ready to head back into the classroom. Or if you're opting to, have the kids learn online, that's totally your choice, and they're ready to support you with respects to that. So we thank them for being here. We thank CBI Bank and Trust and the crew for all that they do. Certainly we love showing you breakfast here on the show. Thanks to Toyota Muscatine. What was in the box today? A little raspberry sauce, since today is National Raspberry Bombay Day. And thanks to Lutheran Living senior campus. Did you hear what that lady just said? That was so funny. I can't repeat it, but it was very funny. All right. We're doing a show live, all right? Please come into the Market Grill Express, have breakfast, watch the show, say hi. And if you ever have a guest suggestion, I'd love to hear from you. HyVee@gmail.com. Just food for thought. We talk about a lot of different topics on this show. You know, to my left, I have my friend Chris Anderson, who's here in the morning, and then he's painting buildings. My friend Paul in Wilton just got to paint a building in Wilton. So there's so many cool art things going on, and Paul will come on this show. You remember Paul was Gomez Adams when we talked about the Adams family, right? That production that was a little short-lived because of the pandemic. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't assume to know everything that's going on. I really need you, if you're watching, to reach out with those guest suggestions. Regardless of if it's Muscatine, West Liberty, Durant, Wilton, wherever you're at, you have a platform here. So please come on the show and let's have a chat. HyVee@gmail.com. I'm running out of breath, so we're going to be done, and we'll see you tomorrow live at 8:30. And I thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton.
Yeah,
This
man.
Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, HyVee@gmail.com.